Hi everyone. Well, things have not gone according to plan again this week. We had really thought we were going to get out our full Christmas video, and Caroline was really up for editing because she was feeling so much better, and we got 2/3 of the way through, possibly 3/4, and then life took over again. Caroline had another mini stroke. We ended up back in hospital on New Year's Eve for another 5 or 6 hours. But they've changed her meds regime. They've been replaced with a new regime of medication. And after a few hours of observation, they were happy for her to be home with me and Tim here. And she is back with us and making a good recovery once more. But obviously a massive setback emotionally for us all, as we really felt we got past that first of the 2 critical weeks and were feeling good. Anyway, we have got quite a bit of the video together, and that's what we're going to share with you now. Caroline wanted me and Tim to finish putting it together, the bit she'd done, put it out there for you, and hopefully, if all stays well, I'll join you in the chat. So here we go, folks, and before we start, can I just say thank you to all the wonderful people who've sent wonderful comments, gifts and cards. Your love and praise and positive energy has meant so much to Caroline and myself. We can't say thank you enough. Anyway, let's see 2/3 of a Christmas extravaganza. We are going hunting in the industrial history of the city of Cardiff. Today, folks, we're on Splott Beach. Never been here before. It's not one of the well-known beaches. It's not like Barry and Porthcawl and Penarth that tend to be holiday resorts. This is no holiday resort. The noise all around me is there's a main road right behind us here. There's a big excavator shifting rubble and rocks over there. There's signs of industrial activity all around us. But there's also a lot of rubble on the beach. So we're gonna go find out what stories this rubble has to tell. Come and join us as we go down to Splott Beach.
There are usually natural things on a beach, and this is definitely not natural. Look at that, it's huge. Apologies if there's anything naughty written on the walls. I can't see anything, but then again, maybe you can. Let's go for a walk along and see what it looks like. I wonder if there's a door. Can we get in? What do you reckon? It's very pretty, very colourful. That's better than the grey. Oh, there's a phone. A green phone. What's on the other side of that? Nothing. Oh, there we go, it's a Rio. Let's hang up. It must be costing them a fortune leaving that off the hook. Ah, there's no entry on it. That's a shame. Would have been fun to go in. Then I'm sure we'll find plenty more fun things to do, fun things to see, so I'll pop you down. Don't forget, shout if you see something. That is. I don't think it's a gun bullet cartridge thingy because it hasn't, there's a hole right through it, but it could be. What do you reckon that is? I have no idea. Right, there's no chance of me taking that tape measure anyway. Can you see it's actually welded with rust onto the metal iron, whatever it is, bar there. Oh, that's firmly fixed. Lots of rubbish here. A few odd bits of metal. Unidentifiable mainly. But we'll keep looking because we're looking for something a little bit more interesting and identifiable that will tell us a little bit about the history of Cardiff. Oh, a few interesting things here. Look at the colour on that tile. Isn't that pretty? It's a really deep blue, like a peacock blue. And a really big piece of sea glass, I suppose, because we're nearer to the sea than a river. And if we go down here, look at that. It's my favourite sort of more modern glass. Oh, it's not. I thought it was some with wire in, but it's not. It's just like a textured glass. Oh, that's really pretty.
I found 4 bricks.
4 bricks.
4 bricks.
Mr. Johnson.
And
yeah,
this is quite pleasant.
Pleasant.
Yes. Proper.
Oh, piece of old glass.
Proper sea glass, isn't it?
Let's see if you can see the colour. Oh, look at that.
So hopefully there's more of that around.
Yeah.
But look.
Oh wow, look at that. I'm amazed.
Now 2 of them are old favourites.
Right.
London Brick Company.
Yeah.
And although it's all burdened up with mud, that's Ebervale.
Right.
But this one we haven't seen before.
Oh, Henschlies.
And
oh, what does that say?
Burn Axe, is it? That's Axe, A-X-E. The dash there, and that looks like B-U-R-N.
Yeah, we'll keep looking. If we can find another brick like that, it'll help us to identify it.
Yeah, but not a bad start.
No.
2 new bricks and 4 bricks in total.
Oh, look what I can see. Look here. Is that green or does it just look green? No, it's a really deep, dark green. Look at that. I think it's slag glass or something. It's absolutely opaque. Definitely got a green tinge to it though. It does look very much like glass.
Quite a lot of these pebbles look like glass.
Oh, what's that? This metal. It's a metal blob, and we've got lots of screws. Oh, look at that tiny, tiny piece of glass there. I think it's modern. It's pretty sharp on the edges.
That's smoothed off, darling.
Oh, that's nice. That's the one I like. Lovely.
It's gone to a quality of sort of, you can see it, but it's got that frostiness created by the sea.
Very pretty. That is what I'm assuming is the riverbed. It's a tidal river here and there's no water in it at the moment. But if it is, then that's going to fill up over the next few hours. But it's very, very muddy. I don't think that's safe to go in at all. So we'll be skipping that and just sticking to this part of the beach, which is looking glorious in the sunshine. Oh, look, there's a helicopter just for us. How nice of him. Oh, look at that piece of sea glass. Wow, that is really well worn. Very smooth. Oh, and look what I found. Can you see it? It's ridged pottery. What is a mudlark without ridged pottery? Is it a cheese triangle? Is it a bit of Toblerone? Oh no, it's not quite triangular, but that's lovely. Can you see the way that's so well worn? And there's some cement or mortar holding two little bits of bricks, and it's been washed and washed for decades in the sea. And then it's gone all smooth like that. It's very tactile, that. If I was in the mood for carrying lots of heavy things back, I'd probably take that with us, but I think it's going to stay. Uh-oh, I think Phil's finding more bricks. Down here you can see some fire bricks. You see where they've been used, and they're very dirty and quite crumbly. And then they've been knocked down from somewhere and put over here. Oh, there's lots of them. There's another one there. Oh, you need fire bricks. They're perfect. So much. Oh, that's almost heart-shaped, but not quite. So much industrial waste here. Well, architectural waste and more modern, I suppose. Nothing like Blitz Beach. I think it's more modern. Hello, Mr. Johnson. What have you found?
Lovely. There's no writing on it. It's well worn, but for a bit of brick.
Very nice.
Smooth that is. I think that needs to go in the bag.
Really? What are you going to do with that?
I'm going to stand something on it.
Oh, you're going to turn it into a plinth?
Possibly, but I like it.
Okay, plinth man.
It's had years of way.
It has, just like me.
Indeed. What's that over there?
What over where?
Yellow, white pattern piece.
Oh yes. Hold on. That looks a bit like a fire brick. It's a number 7, and made in Britain. South Hook, I think. South Hook, made in Britain. Oh no, it's not. It's probably a Belfast sink or something like that. There, yes. Yeah. Oh, there we go. So I'm completely wrong. It's not a fire brick. And this is metal, and it's round. And it's not a pipe because it's got an end on it. It's also at an angle. I have no idea what that is. Lots of interesting unidentifiable objects on this beach, or maybe I just don't know a lot about some of these objects. I don't think I'm going to take that because we can't wash it and it's full of gooey bits, so we leave that here and let's keep looking over this way. Oh, we got a bit of a pudding bowl. I wonder how many Christmas puddings have been made in that. Quite a few probably over the years, and now it's been picked up on a beach in 2021. What have you got, Mr. Johnson?
Now we've seen that name before, but
thistle.
I think it was a bit more damaged than that one. It's a thistle brick.
Very nice.
Well,
very brick-like.
As Caroline says, it's very industrial here, because as we drove through all of the factories and the lorries busying themselves about, there's a massive plateau here which is a full-scale industrial location. But it wasn't always that way. In fact, this wasn't always usable land, because it was in the 13th century that English settlers came here and they built a wall around the marshes and they held back the sea waters, and they created a plateau that for 600 years was rural. It was farming. At one point there were 2 major farms that farmed the land, but it's been pretty much farming land for 6 centuries. Then of course the 19th century arrived, the Industrial Revolution, and that changed everything. But going back to when the settlers first came here from England and started reclaiming the land, there's a place on the other side of the city which, because of the time of year, we thought would be a nice place to visit and share with you. Because although we've got this gorgeous sunlight today, we are wearing our jumpers, and Caroline's got 4 layers on and so have I, because it is winter, Christmas is approaching, and we'd like to share a place of special significance that tells a history that goes way back before ever a person came first and lived in Splott. Here we are, far side of the city, no longer at sea level, right up high on a hilltop, with a view out over the city that is just fantastic. But a long time ago, this is where it was all happening. Not down there in the city, but up here on the hilltop. And when I say a long time ago, I'm not just talking about the church here. We've come to this church today because every church bears a name, and many churches bear the name of saints. But this church was named after the lady who took the starring role at the festive season. There in Bethlehem, it was Mary, the mother of Jesus, and this is named after Mary. And this church was being built at the very time that Splott was being reclaimed from the marshes and the sea by the settlers, around about 1260. But if you think 1260 is a long time ago, before I tell you about the church, this is built right up against archaeological sites of significant interest. Little was known about this area until the last decade or so, when Time Team came here, and then the local university with local volunteers did research, and they discovered amazing things. Because not only is there a fort that was built in the medieval times, dated around the same time as the church, that is just forms a ring fort here on top of the hill. Prior to that, they discovered the Romans were here. They used this site as a fort as well. And you go back before that, and there was an Iron Age fort here, talking around 600 BC. But that's not the end of the story. In fact, this was a centre for ritual and celebration way back. You can go back to 3600 BC, and this site was being used as a place of celebration and meeting. So 6,000 years of human history on one spot, taking Cardiff way back into the history of humanity. But of course, here we see the ruins of the Church of St Mary's, built around 1260. It was mentioned for the first time in the accounts of one of the popes in 1291, and they believe that it was built around 1260. That would fit in with the style and the way in which it was built. But it wasn't the first church even, because they believe there was a previous church way over on the cliff edge, and that preceded this. So we're going a long way back in Christian history too. It saw a lot of change. 300 years after it was built, Henry VIII changed everything, because he broke with Rome and he brought about the Reformation. But it was in the reign of his son that this church, like so many others, were ransacked, and all of the stuff inside was removed, and the paintings on the walls, the murals, were whitewashed over and plastered over, and the churches were completely transformed from what they were previously. Then of course change again, because Mary came to the throne, and when Mary came to the throne, she put everything back to Catholic. Then her sister Elizabeth I takes the reign, and from there on in it was Protestant all the way. Then you had the Civil War, This building saw the Civil War, and just up the road here was the Battle of St Fagans, an incredible battle with a great deal of bloodshed. And legend tells us that some of the parliamentary soldiers fighting for Cromwell hid here in the church during that battle. So it has seen the change of monarchs, it's seen the change of faith practices, it's seen the wars come and go. But what actually did for this place was a very modern day event, 20th century vandalism. There's an account of how in the summer of 1937, vandals set fire to a tree here in the churchyard. That tree had stood for 2,000 years, it was believed, and they just burnt it down. Fortunately, the yew tree didn't land on the church, but the church suffered again around the same time as robbers came and stole so much of the belongings from here, including the offering box and the silver chalice and other things. Because of its position that in its day was seen as advantageous high up on the hill, now it was isolated and a place where vandals and thieves could thrive. Ultimately, in 1957, with the opening of St Timothy's, the church was deconsecrated and left empty. After its closure in 1957, within a 12-month, the vandalism up here had just gone from bad to worse. So the decision was made to form a ruin. So they took off the roof, bricked up the windows and doors, and thought that should do the trick. It didn't. If anything, the vandalism got worse. Walls were demolished, and they even hit a hole in the tower and smashed through in order to steal the ancient bell that was in there. And that was never recovered. Probably gone for scrap, but who knows, it may turn up one day. So the place was left in absolute ruins. But that's not what we see today. Because in 1960, two men came here and found the place as it was, total ruins, but the altar rail was still in place. And when they saw the altar rail, they felt inspired to do something. And they certainly did. Because they set about raising a team of volunteers from the local community and church to rebuild St Mary's. They worked for 2 years. One of those men, the Reverend Victor Jones, known locally at the time as Father Jones, he was so concerned for the work here that he actually camped here in St Mary's throughout the duration of the work, so that he could guard the tools and protect the ongoing work from any damage by vandals. Eventually they were successful, and in April 1961 the church was reconsecrated and services began. Holy Communion, funerals, weddings, christenings, things were active again here on a regular basis at St Mary's. Then in 1973 the decision was taken to close the church. And as you can see today, combination of the vandals and the elements has brought it to what it is. But in a strange way, as I'm reminded of the Christmas story and as I think of what it's really all about, I have a feeling that this ruined church of St Mary's speaks more of the message of Christmas, and here on a hilltop above a city reflects better the whole story that grew out of that event all those years ago than perhaps the grand cathedral that is just down the road. Perhaps that's just me, but there's something beautiful in this place. Well, it was a long climb, but I feel well worth it. The experience of being here is special. I hope that some of that is conveyed to you as we've told the story and shown you the location. But as I look past Caroline, I can see the city laid out there, and we have an appointment back on a beach to find some bricks. So let's get back down to Splott. And here we are, back on the beach, and as I suspected, plenty of bricks.
Well, there's enough to keep you amused for hours.
Yes, a man in his element. At least a man who likes bricks in his element. I've got a brick pile.
Well, Phil found a thistle brick and I found a nettle brick. Ooh, very horticultural.
I like that one.
You like that, yeah?
Yes, I just found that one, which we've seen before. Oops, sorry.
ABC.
I believe, was it Abertillery Brick Company? It was something with A Brick Company. Somewhere around here.
Oh, I can hear the helicopter.
He's coming back to get us.
I think.
Oh, he's right up there.
Oh, you won't see him on the camera. I don't think he's right up high. Sandwich, anyone? It does look a little bit like bread with cold beef in the middle, but it's not. You break your teeth on that. Don't try to eat it. Oh, that's a pretty piece. It's caught my eye. Oh, it's like a green milk glass. And what's this? The bottom of a teacup, do you think? Oh yes, a few, either a teacup or an egg cup. I think a teacup. Oh, there's a nice piece of lovely smooth sea glass. There. Oh, there's a burn axe brick. If it is burn axe. Oh, I think that's in even better condition than the other one Phil found. What is this? Well, that's interesting because it's not very heavy. Tap it on a rock, see what sound it makes. Oh, now that do you think that's wood? Got all these layers, it's been like it's been peeling away. I think that could be wood. What do you think? I think we'll take that home and check it out. It's so light, it's not a problem, so I think it probably is something that was made of wood and has been well washed in the sea. There are lots of bricks here, bits of rubble, concrete. You can see it falling out of the banking over there. But the reason that I put the camera on is to look down at this bit here. Look how wonderfully smooth and tactile that is, where the water has been washing over it for many years. If only I could take that home, I think that would look lovely in the garden, but it's far too heavy. So let's keep wandering along. I'm still looking for that very unusual thing. Something I'm not expecting.
There's a brick that I haven't seen before, but it won't be coming home with me today because it's still attached to a wall which is under a huge stone lintel which is then covered in concrete.
Burslem, is it?
Burslem, yeah, B-U-R-S-L-E-M.
Oh, interesting.
So we'll check that out.
Wow, look there. Can you see that? I think that is a dragon's egg. Oh, look, it's starting to hatch. We're in Cardiff, which is the capital city of Wales, a land of dragons, and it looks like there's a baby dragon about to appear. I'll pop him back down. Everybody be quiet, we don't want to upset him or disturb him. Let him carry on his little job of hatching out of that egg. Oh wow, what a find! Ooh, is it a bottle in there? I don't think it's very old, but I'm sure I can see a bottle. Let's have a look. Now that isn't going anywhere, it's firmly stuck in. Let's have a look at the bottom of it. I can't tell the age from here, but that is completely welded to the rocks, so there it will stay.
Now, I know I may have said this before today, that I found a brick.
Have you?
A big brick.
Really?
In fact, it's a nettle brick again, but I'm keeping yours and I'm not taking mine.
Why is that?
Because it's twice the size.
Oh, it looks like a big fire brick, isn't it?
It's nettle, look.
Yeah. Ooh, lots of metals round here.
Someone suggested in the comments that these would be great to collect and make a fire pit on a patio.
Oh
Now,
yes, that would be nice.
if we had the means to get them back, I think that is a brilliant idea.
Yes, but the problem being for us is that we've come all that way over all that rough terrain, so that's not going to happen.
No.
But what I have found, and I was hoping to find something unexpected, and I have found something.
Oh,
I wasn't expecting to see a fossil today, and can you see that in that rock? And that's because this rock is imported. It's not actually from this very area, it's just been brought here in the rubble. And there you can see grass or some sort of
Tree bark.
leafy growth or something like that that's been fossilised forever in that piece of stone and is now on Splott Beach.
And Lev, if I'm not taking that nettle brick, I'm sorry, I'm not taking your fossil either.
Oh, you mean if I show you the size?
Yeah, about
Just that
4 times the
perspective.
size of the brick.
Okay, we leave it here.
Do you want to see what I got?
Go on then, what have you got?
I got a couple of bits of
Ooh,
glass.
Nice.
Look at that. What would you say that looks like?
Christmas stocking?
Could be,
Or a
but
pipe?
if it, yeah, or if it's up that way, I thought maybe like a flamingo's head or something.
Pop, 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 pop. Turkey.
And then this one I picked up for you because it's flat,
Oh, thank you. Very
smooth
snappy.
on the edges. But I don't know if I'll get away with this. Think Dali.
Right,
Think
yeah.
Dali-esque. And I know you're famous for your heart stones, but do you think I've got away with a heart glass?
Oh, yes. Look at that. Perfect piece of heart glass, eh? Let's put it down on something.
Yes, that'd be a good idea.
Look at that. Do you want to see my little bit of nondescript metal?
Oh, go on then. Ooh.
I think it's possibly a metal lid off an oil can or something. What do you think?
There's some kind of thread to it. Could be the neck of an oil can,
Yep.
where the lid would have fitted onto these threads, and
Could have been,
the
yeah.
whole oil can's gone.
And that's
And all you've got left is the lid. Could possibly be that, but it's an alloy, isn't it? It's light. It's a C for Christmas.
Oh, yes. Is that a C for Christmas? No, it's not. It needs to be the other way round. That's a C for Christmas.
I won't argue.
Right, let's have a little look on the beach, see what we can see again. And we've got a piece of glass. Oh, that's fairly newly smashed. This is nice. It's a chunk of concrete with like a metal grid on it. Probably to stop you slipping, or to stop cars slipping, something like that. Or horse and carts, whatever. I've seen some green. Now what is that there? No, that's not coming out, but I wondered if maybe it was a buckle or something. A copper buckle off a shoe. And if we wander along, there's something else. Look at that. It's not coming out, but it's very pretty. Oh, there's another piece up there too. Lots of very brightly coloured bits of metal. I spotted not a brick, not even a brick wall, a huge heap of bricks. Look at that. They're all cemented together. Star Brick Company. Kylean. They're massive. And they seem to be going round in some sort of, if I take you this way, I'll go slowly so I don't make you dizzy. There seems to be an arch. And then all this coming up here. That is enormous. I wonder what it was. We may never know.
This is a sad sight.
Oh no, look at that.
Look at this. Just put it on by here. That bit.
Oh, that would have been amazing.
Recently broken, I'd say.
Yeah.
See?
Oh, what a shame.
And then you've got more bits of the ridge. Got the collar neck. That was a very large industrialised sized poison bottle.
Oh.
Let's look for its butty that
Right.
hasn't been broken.
Think there's one here?
It's worth a look.
I don't think there's much hope though.
But the scenery's nice.
Yes, it is. Look at that. Very muddy. Very dangerous. Treacherous even. Ooh, that sounds more piratic, doesn't it? Is piratic a word? Possibly. And then right over in the distance you can see England across the water. Whoa, look at the size on that. That was a massive item. If I put it there, if I put my hand on it, that must have been the bottom of a carboy, something like that. Can't think of anything else that would have been that big. And also, when I was moving it, I thought I saw something glass that looked like a glass stopper here. But it's gone now. Oh, I knew we shouldn't have stopped looking at it. Let's have a look. No, I think it's gone. Let's have a look in case I put this on top. No, it's gone. Oh, what a shame. Unless you can see it. I can't hear you shouting. There it is, there it is.
What are we looking for there?
I thought I saw either a bit of glass rod or the end of a bottle stopper.
I got a couple of bottles of milk.
A couple of bottles of milk. Oh, nice. Crown
milk bottles.
Dairy.
Yeah, both of them.
Very nice. I think there's a bottle dump because under there, people have been undermining it. It's very far in. I wouldn't go in. But we may find
Go by
something
these
interesting.
bottles, I'd say it's the 1950s.
Yes. Oh, what's that? It's green. That's a block of something. I have no idea what. Probably copper or brass. Oh, take it, clean it up and see if we can identify it.
Now here's another find that won't be going home with us because it's massive.
Oh, it is rather large.
Isn't it just? Look at that. That amalgamated lump of ferrous
Metal?
debris and brick and all sorts.
Oh, you're not going to be breaking that apart, are you?
No, but the reason I wanted to show everyone this is because I mentioned the Industrial Revolution really took hold in this place, and it went from being a huge farming area to being an industrialised centre, and at the heart of that was the Dowlais Steelworks. And the Dowlais Steelworks had 4 furnaces going, and it produced steel here from 1891 until it closed in 1978. So that's close on 100 years of steel production, which led to masses of terraced housing and people living on site, and this was just one big hub of activity, production and society. And of course, when you've got a society like that, it's bound to produce at some point people of note. Now, Shirley Bassey was famously born in Tiger Bay, which is a little way from here, but she actually moved to one of the oldest streets in Splott as a child and lived there until she became famous. So she's come out of these parts. But perhaps less known in the general public is a man by the name of Ernest Willows, because Ernest Willows is a world famous aviator. He was the first man to fly from London to Paris, and he was of such note in this locality that he not only had the school that was built on the airfield that he flew from named after him, Willows High School, but there's even a Wetherspoons right here in the city that bears his name.
Ooh.
And of course, you don't get much more famous than having a Wetherspoons named after you, and it's almost compulsory that we did have to pop in for a coffee this morning on our way just to drink the health of a famous son of Splott. But what I'd like to share with you now is something really festive. We want to just take you on a little time travel as you join us in Bute Park. It was Lord Bute who in 1891 opened the steelworks here, and it is in Bute Park that the local city council have put on this year's Christmas light display, and we'd love to share that with you now. So come on everyone, let's go over and see a little bit of that Christmas spectacular. Well, here we are folks, we've time travelled and we're in an amazing location, and I've really time travelled. This is my 61st birthday, and I remember 50 years ago when my mum would bring me to Cardiff to see the lights in the streets. But today we're in Bute Park and we're sharing it with you. enjoyed this as much as we have, but now we've got to get back to the beach and find some more bricks. Come on, let's time travel back. Well, you guessed it, folks. We're not back at the beach. No, that hasn't got done. The craft in the shed isn't in, but there are some lovely finds yet to come. And as soon as Caroline's feeling well enough and all goes well at home, we'll put that second part together for you. And you'll be able to see the conclusion of our Christmas extravaganza. I know it's taking a while, but we're getting there. That's how it is here at Johnson HQ at the moment. Slow and steady, but seeing good things each and every day. Thank you again for all your love and kindness. And until next week, when I hope to release the second part of this, and hopefully next Saturday, there'll be a live show. And Caroline was hoping this week to make a 5-minute appearance at the end of the live show. Let's keep praying, keep hoping that that happens next Saturday night, 9 o'clock UK time. Till then, take care. And as always, have fun. Bye.